I have a secret for short goalkeepers.
Life during your football career wasn't easy for sure.
Playing football in the streets.
I think it's gonna be a very good one.
I don't want to play football anymore because I don't want to lose.
Who was your competition back then?
So when you go under 18 and you go to under 21 and you don't play because there's an older goalkeeper, when this goalkeeper then gets older, then it's your turn to play. I just do everything to get goal. Then
I can imagine all the teammates watching it right now.
live for something or die for nothing. After 6 months, there was a tragedy. And the tragedy happened when I was like...
So I can't believe, as I said in the last episode, that we're here. It's episode 5 already of the Champions Connect podcast, and today we have a very special guest and someone who I just got to know, and I really like hanging out with you at training, and he's one of our teammates at my club, Justin Haber. Thanks for coming. It's an honor having you here.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the invite.
It was a late invite, a very quick one, okay. And thank God you managed to come. Basically what happened is I was a bit panicked. I launched last Friday, around on the 15th or 14th, and I was like, all right, I'm going to find my next guest. And the guest cancelled on me. Unfortunately, there was some issues. And I was looking at in the dressing room, I was like, all right, this guy is worth a shot to explain his story. And here you are.
Yes.
So, life during your football career wasn't easy for sure. And I think that your story is very valuable to young generations and also people who admired you and followed you and supported you along your years. People who haven't heard your story, maybe they just know they know Justin Haber as just Justin Haber, the national team goalkeeper for Malta. But obviously everyone has his life and everyone would like to share his story.
Yes. As you well said, my life wasn't easy. But of course out there are a lot of people that they have stories and they have situations that they have to cope with in life. I was lucky because what I dreamt for when I was young, somehow I achieved most of it. I was also lucky because I have, I think, the best parents in the world, my mom and dad, that support me whatever I do. And for out there who's listening and he knows what I'm talking about, each one of us has dreams. But then it's to give up on the dreams. That's, it's a tricky one.
It's not easy. And I'm still very young. I'm following into hopefully your footsteps. It's been a very nice, obviously, it's been a pleasure to get to know you. In just a short amount of time, you joined the club we're at the moment, January,
yes.
Late January, and we got to know each other quite well. It's really funny because I can imagine all the teammates watching it right now.
Yes, of me,
so they're gonna give it a bit of a laugh, and
for sure,
I think it's gonna be a very good one. So let's dive into your childhood. When you're younger, obviously, young Justin Haber.
Yes.
I don't believe that you started in the post.
No. Of course, I'm a 80s kid. Allura, I'm from Floriana, so we are brought up playing streets in the football in the streets. Go fishing, go non-sbu for the Peter Rossi, doing camps on trees, but of course football. When I go home, I used to go straight away after I do my homework or before to watch Ollie Benji. So you can imagine, like football, it was always there. It was a bit of hard because my parents didn't allow me to go and play at the Bundley, at the Swings, where we had like this old tennis court, and we used to do tournaments there. And of course, I went, but if I got caught, this is because we have to be careful because if they swear and you will hear them or this, but. And when the nursery started of Floriana, I joined in as a player. because I was fast, so they used to play me like striker and this. I enjoyed it, but after 6 months, there was a tragedy, a big tragedy.
Mm.
Why? I did an own goal in training,
Oh.
and we lost. So I didn't want to play football anymore because I don't want to lose. I always wanted to win. So I didn't go like for 2 weeks, and I used to go to De La Salle.
Marishna, I don't want to cut obviously your conversation, but I like to keep the viewer in the timeline. So if you can mention the age that you were at the
Sure,
moment.
sure. I was like I started when I was 7, 8, and the tragedy happened when I was like 10. So I stopped. Then my PE teacher, Daniel Buhajar, he was preparing the school team, and there was no goalkeeper. So he told me, "You want to start to see how you're in goal?" And I liked it. I did a couple of saves. Anyway, to cut you the story short, I started training in school, like as a goalkeeper. Then 3 months down the line, I joined Floriana again as a goalkeeper. And after, let's say, 6 months, there was a very famous tournament in Floriana. So don't forget that Floriana had the car park that's today, the Shara, that was all grass. So for you to play in the grass, it's something nice. So.
Nice.
And at that time, Floriana, they won the league, 92, 93, so of course you see your heroes, David Clewitt, God bless him, and Brian Clorley, and, Dennis Kauki. It's nice.
It's nice.
And of course, I used to go to the stadium, Jifiri Malhadit, paint my face with the green and white, and swearing at the referee, and always against Valletta. I was bused when to go to school. So the route was first they pick up the Valletta children, then Floriana, then we keep going to school to De La Salle. So when we play Floriana Valletta, always on the bus, derby.
Exactly.
Anyway. So then there was this tournament, and the coach was Bob Higgins, and it was like Malta under 12, Norwich, and Floriana. And one of my biggest disadvantage, my height. I'm one of the shortest goalkeeper in the world.
In the world, you think?
In the world, for sure.
Made it a fact.
No, it's a fact. I even mentioned it on Netflix that we'll talk about it. So basically, we played in the big post. And today that I'm 43, I already, like I see this post, how big it is. Imagine when I was like 12. So, but it happened American. We played the first game, Floriana, Malta, and they didn't score. 0-0, clean sheet. I was saving everything. Or they were shooting into me, but no goals.
You felt like you were saving.
Yes. So, it was an amazing. And after the match, the coach, Bob Higgins, called me up with the national team from under 12. And he called up 3 of us. But then what happened was that we started training, and in the meantime, I was even playing with the Abbatini of the church. So you can imagine. And my friends, they dropped them from the national team. And I was feeling bad, so I didn't go. I didn't go because, I wanted to be with my friends. Then, so 6 months passed, and then Bob Higgins came to see me again at the game, and he called me, and I started again with the national team. So since then, I always say this, I was the 4th goalkeeper. I was the 4th goalkeeper with the national team. And by the age of 16, I stayed number 1. So
Who was your competition back then?
Mela, I had a very tough competition because with the national team there was Kerr Chiberras. Chiberras, his grandfather, is one of the best goalkeepers Malta ever saw.
Okay.
If you can say Shibi, he used to play with Slima and all this. Then there was Brian, that he was not training, but he was involved with the first team of Hamrun. Today he's a policeman. And then there was Liam Manjon, he was a goalkeeper. And then me. Issa, in Floriana, our hero, David Clewitt, he had a problem with Floriana, that he wanted to go to Scotland, and then he stopped. He wanted to play in Gozo. So the goalkeeper that took his place, his name was Matthew Camilleri. 2 years older than me, from Floriana, and he has, I don't think if still has it, but he was the youngest goalkeeper to ever play in Europe.
Europe?
In Europe, like
How
their
old?
Toto Cup.
How old was he?
I think he was 16 or 17. So everybody telling me, I met you up, like you're going to play. I said, don't worry. And I have a photo, I will show it to you. And
Send it to me, I put it in the pod.
Sure. I'm on my toes. We're taking a photo together. I'm on my toes, and he's like 50 centimeters taller than me. And I'm on my toes. So imagine. But, and then I have a secret for short goalkeepers, that they used to tell me, drink a lot of milk and id-dandel mal-guardarobba. And at that time, my mom bought this wardrobe from Fino. Wissa tissemmi wardrobe ta' Fino. Issa kien tissemmi tafid, xrad.
Yeah, exactly.
Xrad blokka. But she used to catch me, and she told me, if you break it, I will break you. And anyway. So I used to drink a lot of milk, and I used to hang on, just try to get taller and to stretch. I used to do everything to get taller. My parents are not tall, like my mom is taller than my father, so I can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't the best. But with the problem with the milk, that when I arrive to school, I have to go, to the bathroom straight away, and I couldn't get taller. But anyway, I was trying. So to go back to the story of Matthew, as I said, he did the debut against Tel Aviv, Haifa, I think, and like he didn't concede a goal. So imagine this goalkeeper. Yes, it was quite. So he was playing in the under 18, and I was playing in the under 16.
Ah, okay. So I understand.
Understand, but then still we're knocking the door for the first team, and David Clewitt, sometimes he trained us and this. He's my hero, by the way. Anyway, going forward, then what happened was this. The under 21. The under 21, at the time, Reza Zufaruja was the coach. Okay? And for example, Malta, because we're a small island, you know that when you go under 18 and you go to under 21 and you don't play because there's an older goalkeeper, when this goalkeeper then gets older, then it's your turn to play. Exactly. So I was called up with the national team under 21. I still was playing 16, 18, and under 21. I remember in the group stages, we had like a really tough group. Like we had Bulgaria, we had Denmark, Iceland, Czech Republic. So imagine, under 21 I played against Peter Cech.
Austria.
Exactly. And then I played with him in the cup in France. This I will tell you about it.
Yeah.
And so, I will tell you the secret, what happened. Reza Zufaruja, he's from Floriana.
And you are both from Floriana?
Me and Matthew from Floriana. I met you, I didn't drive. Like, I started driving when I was 20, and I will tell you why. Till today, I don't know how to drive properly. But the problem was this, that imagine, we're training. I win the game, so I'm better than him. And then he has to take me home. It was a bit awkward. But Matthew is a gentleman, so I never said anything. Apart from that, there was, before us, Xavier Darmanin.
Okay.
And there was, before him, Mario Muscat. Mario Muscat won the liquid hips at the age of 16. So imagine that, Justin, Mario, Xavier, and Matthew. And I said, don't worry, let them come. And so, to cut the story short, we went on pre-season in Frankfurt with Zazu. And, we had top players, William Kamenzuli, Massimo Grima, Anatol De Bono, Stefan Giglio, at that time he was playing with CSK, And this pre-season we used to train. It's not like the pre-season of today. It's hard pre-season. In the middle of nowhere, in the forest, in Frankfurt. We used to wake up at 6:30, go for a run, 45 minutes, then go for breakfast, and then 9:30 training, hard training, then lunch, rest, and then again training in the evening, every day. So I said, listen, live for something or die for nothing. So in the run, I wouldn't, because I'm a goalkeeper, I stay at the back
end.
and with the top 5. And Matthew, he didn't have my stamina. So he was always falling back or excuses that he has pain here and this because he was in the comfort zone. Because he was the first choice with Floriana that he will going to play. And there where I attacked. I was dying, I was going to my room crawling. And I did it. And even if everyone is hurting me, I kept on pushing. And the first game, it was away against Northern Ireland. This again, I am just turned 19 because my birthday is in June. So September, 19, we're playing against Northern Ireland. And Michael Galia, Josh Malia, like older than me. And we're playing away in Northern Ireland. So what happened was that the number 1 goalkeeper playing in Floriana was Matthew. So the coach normally plays who's playing.
First,
Exactly. And this was one of my my biggest. In fact, I always say to Zazo, he gave me that boost. And I can't show you because at that time we didn't have mobiles. But I have a cutting of the newspaper, like the first 11 without the goalkeeper because he was still undecided who's going to play. And on the lift, like in the morning of the game.
Before the game.
Yes. After breakfast, he told me.
You didn't know either.
Nothing.
You think he was sure that he was gonna play?
I think he took for granted. In fact, I have goosebumps. Shara, look. In the lift, he told me, "Get ready. You're gonna play." And I think most of you out there, you saw Home Alone 1 when he starts jumping on the bed and this. Issa, I forgot to say something. In the room, I was with him.
No.
So I went fast. I closed the door and I started jumping, doing somersaults. It's like the big reward for all the sacrifices I did, And the results over there, it was 1-1. I had one of the best games of my life.
Of your life?
Of my life. And you can imagine the way back. And for every Maltese player, when you're representing your country in any sports, you are happy that you let yourself, your family, and your friends proud of you in that 90 minutes, and you're representing the country that we all love. So something, it's amazing, and it's nice. It's a nice feeling, and it was one of my highlights in my career. Then going back to Malta. So he had to take me to training, but it was okay. Then in the league, he was still playing, but I was having some games, And then we played against Bulgaria, home, under 21. And we withdrew. I don't know if it was 1-1, I think, yes. And I got chosen to go and play there in Bulgaria.
After the game?
After this game. And I will tell you why.
Okay.
Mela. Of course.
You were 21? Yeah, 19. You were still 19? You were still 19.
19. Okay. 19. And if I may say it, I don't know if it's legal or not. I was still a virgin. But it's okay. It's okay.
It's good. It's good.
Anyway, so basically,
it's if it's legal or not.
I don't know. Yeah. So this was I'm going to explain. At that time, of course, we didn't have Facebook, we didn't have internet. Okay, internet ftit on the emails, everything slow. And I was obsessed. I'm a Gemini. And I try whatever it takes to do or what I'm dreaming of, to try. And I remember, like, even to make contact with agents. It's not like today they call you, they send you an email, LinkedIn, and all this, you know.
Mm.
So I remember there was this player, Rufenoba, and I was obsessed. Like every Monday, I used to go and watch Eurosport. At 10 p.m., there will be all the goals of Europe. So I will learn their mistakes, the goalkeeper. So because I want to make it abroad. Issa, I pause a bit and tell you. All this started that I wanted to go play abroad because my father and grandfather, my father took me the first time to see Malta, Italy.
Home?
Home. When we lost 2-1, we missed the penalty, but we scored at the last. And for me, that one was wow. And then my grandfather took me to see Inter playing at home, Inter. And because of him, I side with Inter. But if you tell me, mention 2-3 players, I have no idea. I don't watch football, but because of my nano.
You don't watch football?
No, I can't.
Nothing?
Nothing. You know, in the dressing room, the coach, 4-3-3, diamond, I have it. For me, it's Chinese. But it's okay. It's a secret.
I don't think it's a secret anymore.
Anyway, so I wanted to go abroad. So what I used to do, I used to tell him, please tell your agent to go, so I go abroad, please.
Because I didn't understand. How did you meet this guy?
He was because at the time only 3 foreigners can play in the first team. So he was my teammate.
Okay, I understand.
You understand? So
Who's this guy?
Rufenoba. He's from Congo. He lives in France now. We're still friends, you know, because he made his Facebook, you know, and this, that. And just to tell you how mental I am, when I know that he's in Malta for coming for 5 days, he used to stay at Golden Sands because one of our vice president was Neville. From here I say hello to his family because he was an amazing person, Neville Fennick, and he had the hotel Golden Sands before came Redison.
Okay.
So I used to take the bus from Floriana, go to Redison, to go and say hello, how much I want to go abroad and this and that. Okay, so you can imagine. In the meantime, apart playing from Floriana, I was playing with my friends. My friends like five-a-side. You know, I was in an amateur league there playing. I was playing striker. Okay. Anyway, and this resulted that he got me a trial with Westerlo during Easter. And for example, he told me they sent me a ticket to go on Thursday. And on Tuesday, we had a game with my friends. And I said, I'm not playing because I have that. Jack. Basta. I thought, okay, I play. After 5 minutes, I twisted my ankle. So I couldn't even walk. So the thing that I was chasing, I couldn't go to Westerlo. Exactly.
And you don't say it's a league game.
Exactly. So, anyway, it passed.
So you didn't end up going.
Exactly. But then things happened.
And how did you tell them, listen, I can't come?
No, I told them the truth. Can I ask where the team is from? Westerlo, Belgium. Belgium. And he was from Belgium and, France and everything. And me, I'm obsessed. I wanted to learn French, and to do things. So the passion. After the end of the interview, you will see so much passion I put in football, and that's why then you decide not to continue in football. But that's something that we go after to discuss about.
I'm going to ask you a question after this, but I don't want to interrupt now. It's going to be a question where you're going to tell me, listen, yes or no. But then let's go.
Okay. To wrap up the story, our coach at that time in Floriana was Mark Miller and a Bulgarian coach, Stefanovic, I think. I forgot his name. But there were 2 coaches, and they were the coaches of the first team, okay, and of the minors. Because at the time, Floriana took a very big decision. They decided to remove Anthony Grexant as a president, and they put Dennis Berg. And I was the captain the under 18, and I was playing with the under 21. Imagine, you know. And what happened was this: that they gave us a contract, or the players, and I was, as was the captain, said, no, we don't sign it. Let's improve our contract, because it was for 5 years and all these things. And everybody agreed. Then this thing came in January, and I went to Bulgaria. Mr. Sokolov, coach Sokolov Kinismo. Mr. Sokolov arranged me the agreement when they chose me with the national team with a big agency called TANEF. It's a massive.
Still is?
It still is, yes. It still is. TANEF agencies, like top Bulgarian players, they go with TANEF. And I signed off with this team, Dobrich. Now, don't forget again, we didn't have at the time like social media, TikTok or this, Instagram. So when you go to Bulgaria, you pretend to be like Malta, right? Like basic things. So I arrived there in Bulgaria, in Sofia, and my team was doing a pre-season in Varna, 8 hours away with the train, or 7 hours with bus, something like this was. So okay, and it was -20, freezing cold. Just imagine me from Malta, -20. So it's not easy. I went with the bus. They arrange everything, and they arrive. Nobody speaks English. You know, cold. The food, it's not like you choose. They will give you the food. I don't like feta cheese and all this. It's Balkans. They put a lot of feta cheese. So I was shy to tell them I don't want this, that. So I was eating really limited, you know. Anyway, it was nice. I got used to it. Then they gave me an apartment, share it with an African guy, you know, because he spoke English. And this apartment was like one of those big buildings, like 20 floors. And I used to go there, and like before you go in, there were like these hookers, you know. And they come to you, they ask you sex, and Malta, no one, you know. So it was a bit of a culture shock. Anyway, I used to play for their like Primavera, their minors, and I was always with the first team training. It was tough, and again, I'm saying it with no offense to no one, but here I'm 19, okay, and no goalkeeper coach. My goalkeeper coach was a bit with the national team, you know. So of course, to adapt to your style, it was not easy. So anyway, to cut your story short, I was playing, doing well, with all the challenges. I managed to keep going, and this club, Botev Plovdiv, contact me to join for a professional contract. Essa, let's talk money. With Dobrich, I only had $500 a month. Tidally $500. Inti mijnun? Yes, I'm crazy. I wanted to go. I'm a person. There's a saying, the proof is in the pudding. I want to prove myself. And then we can discuss about what I'm worth. Emma, from a Maltese player, I'm short, like mini-me, for a goalkeeper. To have the chance, it's already something out of this world. If I do well, then okay, we can discuss. In fact, all my career was like that. So basically, this was Bulgaria. Then, what I'm going to mention now, it was like the ice breaking with Floriana. What happened was this, that Botev Plovdiv, the coach, that at that time Valletta won the 6 cups, Malinov, went to coach Botev Plovdiv in the 2nd division, and he wanted me to be his number 1 choice. At that time, I was still with the old contracts that your parents sign when they are 16 till under 21.
The
registration. And Mr. Julian Holland, at that time was the secretary of the team, asked for $100,000. And of course, the club rejected me. And so I went back to Floriana. When I went back to Floriana, all my teammates signed the contract, their professional contract. So everybody,
that you told them not to sign.
exactly. So everybody with the Fiat Punto, because they gave us a signing on fee at that time, every Fiat Punto. So they like, my teammates, And okay, I'm the odd one out. So Mark Miller and Sokolov went out, and this Ben Sharifa came in as a coach. He didn't want me to play, so Matthew was playing. And he told me, you will not play unless you sign the contract. And I said, I don't want to sign. Then, all this will, by the way, all this will be in my biography in the book. So
He wants to launch his own biography.
And all the money, it's for a children house, that for a good cause.
Perfect.
So
that's very nice. That's very nice.
Yes. This situation then, Floriana were not doing good, and it was the first year where Floriana, the league, Maltese league, was top 6 and bottom 4.
All right.
Not like today, it's different because the points keep going. So we were challenging not to go in the bottom 4, Anyway, what happened was that they changed the coach. The coach came Zialdis, and from here it's another milestone for me. This, and at the time now I was 20, regular with the under 21, okay, and although I was not playing, still I played all the games with the under 21, and Zialdis made me number 1 choice. We won 3 imported games. Like for example, Birkirkara first, and we are 6th, 7th, and we beat Slima, Birkirkara, Rabat, if I'm not mistaken, and another big team. So we managed to be equal for the 6th place with Marsa. So we went for a decider.
All right.
Okay? Issa, don't forget, I didn't sign the contract, and I was not earning money. My parents were giving me money. Issa, one of the sacrifices where all my friends were buying a car. My Nannines, she wanted to buy me a car. But I said no, because if you buy me a car, I have to go out, I have to put petrol, and I need money to go out. So I said, no, I don't want. It's a sacrifice that I didn't want to stay in Malta. I wanted to go abroad. Stylish style, abroad I wanted to go. So what happened, as I said, Ziadis gave me this opportunity. And of course, Malta, once you start playing good and you're playing with the national team, big clubs start calling you. And I was like 20, so I'm there to go for free.
Yeah, exactly.
They used to pay the parameters.
Like a training compensation.
Exactly. And then what happened was we made this decider against Marsa. It was funny because at that time I was filming the video with Ira Losco, the 7th Wonder. Okay, and
it was a Eurovision song, yeah.
Eurovision song, and it was funny. I call it funny. I am lucky that my parents were all the time making jokes to each other. My father is the Perchimes, and my mom, not to mama or daddy. So all the time like this. And at the time, no phones, and I used to train Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with the national team at 9 in the morning and at 3 in the afternoon. Okay? So, but you tell me if you have car, just you don't have a car. How did you go for the 9 a.m. training? Or I catch the bus 8 to 1 to Rabat from Floriana and then walk all the way until I find a lift. Or I used to wake up at 6 with my father. Ġifri, isni dak Ladzru dak li għamil mewt, I can call. I can't even see, and then when it's time, he would drive me off to Taqali, Pacenzia. So that's how dedicated I was. I wouldn't miss a training for nothing. But I was not earning money. Nothing. So I was doing advertising, and then this thing of Ira Losco came. Issa, Ira, imagine on Saturday night, we're watching her song, and we'll love that song. And then on Monday, my mom always cleans on Monday, so titoqgħod attent ma tafġilix u ħafna minn dan hekk. I came home from training and I said, let me go to rest, then I will go for the second training. And the phone ranks, you know. And my mom picks up, it's for you, Just. I went and said, hello? Hi, Just, it's Ira. Hi, Ira, right? Proset. I never spoke to her. Proset for the song. Like, listen, you want to be my, in the song like The Seventh Wonder? I said, of course, I would love to. I said, okay, so they will call you tomorrow and this and that. Okay. And then my mom said, who called? I said, Ira Losco. Murt nejjek, you know? Anyway, and I did the video. And imagine on a Tuesday, there is a piece on the video of the 7-1. I don't know if you saw it. That I'm like
Driving the boat.
Like don't tell nobody. But at that point,
Don't forget people are
oh
watching.
yeah, sorry. I was keeping my breath, so my abdominals will push out a bit, you know. So anyway, and that was like, imagine at 4-ish in the afternoon. 4-ish in the afternoon. At 7 is the game. At 5 we had to be at Taali. Mala. And there, of course, because it's PBS, they, like we had the private driver and everything. And we flew to Taali. And God bless him, the driver, he just went like, don't worry, Justin, you're going to be fine today, you know? You're going to be fine. And God forgive him, like, not forgive him, but he lost his daughter like a year before. And he said, listen, my daughter will be looking up on you. And this person, every time I see him, I always go and hug him. Anyway, to cut the story short, the game, I had a very good game, not only on save, like crosses, I was safe and this.
Against who?
Marsa.
Ah, yes, okay.
Marsa. And we finished 0-0, and I saved 2 penalties. So I became the hero, But I couldn't go and celebrate with my friends, my teammates, because I had to continue the Manuel Theatre when I'm with the rose to give to her, Anyway, it's a nice experience, It was amazing. But, I mean, when you have a big game like this, you shouldn't go.
Exactly.
But sometimes, you can get away with it.
A special thanks to show creators, my go-to team for design and animation. They specialize in branding, marketing, animation, and bringing creative ideas to life. If you have an idea and you don't know where to start, they could help you from the ground up. Make sure to contact them on their socials at show.nt. Let's get back to the pod. Let's hop on to Sheffield United, where
Okay.
I think it's a very big signing for a Maltese footballer. And as you said, at the moment England are looking for 2 goalkeepers.
Everywhere.
It's everywhere. Was it in your case a problem when you went there?
It was a big problem.
Did they ever mention anything?
Look, not a lot of people know this, but I went twice with Sheffield United.
Okay.
How? The first time with Sheffield United was that, and don't forget, I have no idea with football. No idea with football, okay? Because now I will say a story and you will tell me how crazy I am. I went after 3 years with Birkirkara. I had to renew the contract. I was number 1 goalkeeper with the national team A, and I wanted to go abroad, so I went to France. France, CFA. It's like it's the 4th division, but the 1st division of the amateur league. Issa. This league, it's amazing because you play against the second team of the big teams. So in our league, we had PSG 2, Rennes 2, you had Auxerre, you had Gangon, you had Saint-Etienne, if I'm not mistaken, and Nantes. So, it was nice. The second game before the end of the season, we played against PSG. There was this agent, his name was Tony White, but he's black. Tony White. And he came to look the goalkeeper of PSG. Which
was back then?
The national goalkeeper of Algeria.
Okay.
Like the 3rd goalkeeper, like of the first PSG. So he plays there. And like when someone put like a curse on you that you will not concede a goal or a blessing. And this, I saved the penalty, shooting into me. Everything perfect. So, after the game, he was waiting for me. He told me, I'm an agent and a scout for Sheffield United. Would you be interested to go for a trial? I said, of course. Now, in France, I won the best goalkeeper of the league.
Second division France.
No, it's a fourth division
Fourth
in France.
division France. Okay.
But I won the best goalkeeper of the league in the region.
Okay.
Okay? And my coach, Mr. Desiree, that then he was coaching Le Mans, it's quite a big name. He arranged for me to sign for a French team, not Le Havre, Cherbourg. Cherbourg, that was in the third division, but it was a nice, beautiful contract. But of course, I had to sign. So I didn't sign. Now, your choice is you will sign or you will go to trial with Sheffield United. What would you do? It's tough one. Anyway, what I did was I took the trial, and I agreed that I have to stay 1 week. So after 1 week, if it doesn't happen, I will go to Cherbourg. Okay? So in the meantime,
That's a good idea.
yes, in the meantime, I was playing with the national team. I will even tell you now how I did my debut later on. And at the time, Sheffield United were in the Premier League. So I was going to Sheffield United with a team in the Premier League. So I went from Malta to Leeds. But before that, we had a game in June, because I went in July. But in June, we had a game. And the goalkeeper coach of Sheffield United came to see me. We played in Düsseldorf, Malta against Japan, Japan against Malta in Düsseldorf before the World Cup. Now, 4 days before us, Japan came 2-2 with Brazil. Imagine. No journalist came with us because they said we're going to get you 10-0. I mean, I said, anyway. And Japan at the time, Nakata, top players, After 1 minute, 1-0 for Japan. I didn't even touch a ball. 1-0. And then, slowly, a cross comes in, I catch it, and this, a save, and this, and that. And we finished 1-0. And I had an amazing game. So the goalkeeper coach got confirmation that, yes, they want me. So I went for the trial. 1 week, as we agreed. Just to wrap it up, I went from from Malta to Leeds, and they came to pick me up in Leeds. On the plane, I think I went 3 times to the bathroom with the anxiety, so you can imagine. So they came for me, hi, how are you? I think in their mind were saying, like, is he a goalkeeper or a left back? It's so short. But anyway, so I went to train there, and in England, in the pre-season, like, you train in the morning, and the afternoon you have a match. Yes, it's tough as it gets. And, I was training, first day, okay. The second day was the training in the morning and the game in the evening. Issa, I have no idea who the players were. Issa, at the time, the national team goalkeeper was, the national team doctor was David Attard. And from here I say hello, I love him. He saves me a lot. I don't know how many problems he got out of my body, but I say hello from here. And David Attard is a strict person. He knows, like, to speak on all topics. He's a very intelligent man, but he can be a character. Like, if he doesn't like you, he will show it to you. And because I was the young one with the national team, he always didn't give me the right to laugh or to make jokes. So he was always strict on me. And I was Sheffield United, and there was this ball, and I went to catch the ball, and I didn't catch the ball, but I caught the player, Froja. And there's the coach, and this guy came up, tell me, hey son, we have a match tonight, calm down. And then I said that daw lost ya doctors, kullum kien like fitti, like they are like. And he was Neil Warnock, the manager. I didn't know. Neil Warnock in football is a very famous name. Neil Warnock, I thought he was the doctor. She was dressed differently. I thought me this. Anyway, the same day, the assistant coach, McAllister, he took me to my hotel. He told me, all right, son, see you at 4 o'clock at Bremont Lane. Bremont Lane. What's Bramall Lane? Issa, Bramall Lane is one of the most famous stadiums in England. And I don't know what's Bramall Lane anyway. So I played a couple of games, but from 1 week, they told me to stay longer to go with them in pre-season in Scotland. And so I did. So in my mind, I signed for Sheffield United. Oh, I didn't sign, but I was saying, oh, Sheffield United in England, excited. And after 2.5 weeks, they had to let me go because they got the goalkeeper of Arsenal, the third goalkeeper of Arsenal. So I ended up with no club. I came to Malta and I didn't stop crying because that summer the film Goal came out. Goal when Nunes signed for Newcastle. And I was imagining myself, I was like crying all the time. It was one of my downfall. Then I went with pre-season with the national team. We're in Slovakia. And Neil Warnock calls me. Neil Warnock. If you Google Neil Warnock, I don't know if you know who he is. He's a legend.
I think I'm too young to know who he is.
No, but if you look into him, he's a legend. And basically, he arranged me to sign with Excelsior Virton. He told me, listen, son, because he knew that I lost the contract in Sherbrooke, and he fixed me in Belgium because it was one of his friends and, football. So I went to Excelsior. And then, of course, in Excelsior, before even I stepped foot in the pitch, I killed them with laugh because I did two Pudini.
What did you do?
What did I do? Number one, when you know that you sign for a club and you're in Malta, when you're playing abroad and you're in Malta for 5 days, those 5 days you try to do everything. Swimming, fishing, min kollox.
You have some stories that I would like to share on here.
No, I can't if you want. It's not censored.
We can do that.
So what happened was this team was coming from the third division into the second division, and I was their first international player signing in their club. So we agreed, for example, on Thursday that I have the flight.
Was the wage good?
Mela, about wages. Yes, it was like in hand, like 4,500 euros in hand. In hand, because then there were bonuses and they were paying like 1,500 like taxes.
Okay.
But if you want to stay on the topic of the wages, to tell you the difference, with Birkirkara, I signed for free. I was a free transfer. So they just paid like 6,000 Maltese to Floriana, and they gave 8,000 Maltese to me. And my salary was 1,900 Maltese, so it's equivalent close to 5,000 for 3 years. But when I went to France, I signed for 1,200 euros only. But actually not but, and I had to pay the rent.
The accommodation.
The accommodation, exactly. But then I had bonuses every game, So listen,
it was a push that you were willing to take,
Yes, exactly.
It's not easy.
But that's me. I like to risk, and I believe in myself. So that's maybe give me that extra.
What makes you different?
Yes, going to what I did to the club. I'm packing, and I lost my passport. So at the airport, like my family are there to tell me bye, and everybody. I am there. I said, "Fuck, I have my passport. Where is it?" So I had to tell them I did a new passport. I had to postpone everything for them. And the next day comes, and I went to Brussels. They were waiting for me, and it was a 2-hour drive to the club. So there was a press conference for me to present me to the supporters. And I arrived, press conference, everything okay. I learned French, so I can speak a bit of French. Because Belgium half is Flemish, half is French. So I can speak French a bit, so they liked it. But in France, I didn't drive. But in Belgium, the club was sponsored like with Citroën. So they gave a car each. So I was, after the conference, press conference, I was following the team manager to go to my apartment. So my apartment was like a chalet. It was in a valley where you have the lake and, the trees. It's nice. It was in summer, so it was amazing. But in winter, it gets like at 3 o'clock. It's a lot scary. But anyway, so I was following him, And we drive on the right. Issa, there we drive on the left. So I was still excited with the suit and everything, you know. I parked, he parked here, I parked here. And it was like in a steep hill, like, you know, because as I said, it's a valley. And I closed the car, and I was walking. And when the team manager is looking at me, he was like, levature, like the car. So I turned and I forgot to put the handbrake. And this Losco car started running. And with, like, because I wasn't prepared, instead of open the car, go in and put the handbrake, I started to stop it. So imagine, I destroyed the car. After not even 24 hours, late for the press conference, like with the loss of the passport, and destroyed the car. But anyway, then they loved me, and I have more stories, but let's continue. Like Sheffield United. So this was my a very good year, because at that time, Malta, it was the Malta where we're bringing results. You know, we had the coach, Horst Hees, that if you don't mind, I can tell you, Horst Hees was the coach that removed me completely from the national team, and he was the person who made me the debut with the national team. I know it sounds funny. Should I tell you this about it?
Sure, let's go.
Okay. So Horst Hees is German, you know, strict. I love him to bits. Although his favorite player was Andrew Cohen. Anyway. And, you know, when I used to go train in the morning, after the first training, then we used to have lunch over there. And my way of getting money was by advertising. For example, the first big advert that I did was Frank's. Then, because of Frank's, Ira chose me to do the video. But then I did the advert of McDonald's, Vasca's, a lot. I don't show around, so even on my Instagram, you will not see Fanfaronati, but I have where to show. I was even the main face of Diesel and Levi's. Anyway, and all of a sudden, we had at that time, I didn't play yet for the first team. I was playing with the under-21, but there was the Rotmans tournament that happens in February, and it had 3 games. And my target was to make the debut there, like most of the players do. And a month before, he called me in his office. Ja, Scheiße. If I see one more advert of you, out. Hey, coach, what can I do? No, you are a football player. You are nobody. You have to first play good, then you make advert. Yeah. Okay, coach. And this was like Wednesday. Knowing my luck, Sunday Times, ġi xpaċċati Justin Haber ta' Diesel u jippoza u jikkommedja. Monday morning, more ta' training, għalli, out. Scheiße, you don't listen to me. Għatlu coach, out. U keċċini. U tista' timmaġina, this was in more or less, xi Novembru, Diċembru, allura għaddiju l-Rotmans Tournament, għaddiju kollox u hekk. 6 xhur għadda l-istaġġu ma jatlix. Mbagħad ma' Birkikar kont għaddej bomba. Kont nilab tajjeb ħafna. U then the new season come. They mentioned the squad and Justin Haber not in the team, with the national team. So imagine, and although, you know, I was playing well and in team of the week and this, Justin Haber not in the national team squad. I was still like 21. It was so I give you the timeline. 2004. And then what happened is we played Malta against Sweden in September. It was the first game when Zlatan Ibrahimovic just signed for Juventus. I was at my goalkeeper coach, with Birkikar having a barbecue at his home and watching the game. Roger Camilleri. And Malta got 6 goals or 7. Imagine Zlatan.
Who played?
Mario Muscat. And you know, October we have the next game, Iceland home. And Mario Muscat had a fallout with Horst Hees. And Horst Hees is very strict. And I have to thank my friend, Andrew Hogg, because Andrew Hogg took Saviour's Darmanin
Save Darmanin's place.
place with Pietà. So, Horst he couldn't play Saviour, and I had a call-up. And I did my debut against Iceland, October,
21.
national team, 18.
21. You were 21.
I was 21. 2004, October, I don't remember the day, I think 8th or 9th, but 2004, and we're going to play against Iceland. It's at that time, Iceland. They had their striker, Gudjonsson, playing with Chelsea. Imagine. Anyway, as I always tell you, the most important, to get the first ball.
It's true.
My first ball, I went out for butterflies. I didn't catch it. I didn't even touch the ball. But nothing happened.
Okay.
Then I had a good kick, a good save, and started. We ended up 0-0. Yes. And there's a funny story because I'm all the time making jokes.
Yes,
but
every day in the dressing room I have one story before
Imagine.
the coach comes in, and then
exactly, and then tactics.
it's always different.
Diamond.
The tactic time.
And I remember there was the last 10 minutes of the game. Imagine 0-0 against Ireland, and the monitor, it's like one minute. It's like 1 hour.
Takes forever.
Exactly. So there was a spot kick, and I took kull ma kelli noqos naddim il-coast road biex naddel id-darbal. So this Gudjonsson come fast, he pushed me, he took me the ball, and he put it on the spot kick, on the ball, saying, "Come on, play." And I went like, "Drogba, you will not play now with Chelsea, Drogba." And he gave me this look because at that Mourinho was with Chelsea. He got Drogba instead of Gudjonsson. So imagine he wanted to punch me. But anyway, so that's it about that. Now, should I continue about the national team or about after what happened?
Because I think we targeted a lot about the national team now. Let's go on to Ferencváros.
Oh, okay.
Big club.
Ferencváros.
Okay.
Ferencváros. Mela, to go into Ferencváros, I have to end up to finish up of Sheffield United because Sheffield United, they re-chose me again because they came to see Malta, Hungary. Because at that time, the McCabe's, the owner, were buying the Ferencváros. I was the second goalkeeper in Sheffield United, and
who was the first?
Paddy Kenny. Now, who is Paddy Kenny? Paddy Kenny, apart from being the second goalkeeper of Republic of Ireland, he was the reserve of Shay Given. Imagine, it's a massive goalkeeper, Shay Given. And Paddy Kenny, when there is that famous goal of Aquariums, jismu dak tal-Man City. Aguero. The goalkeeper, Paddy Kenny, is the goalkeeper of QPR that conceded that famous goal in the last second.
When he took up the top, Aguero.
When they won the league. The goalkeeper was Paddy Kenny. That's like what level we're talking about, And the coach at that time, if I'm not mistaken, of QPR was Neil Warnock. Remember the Dr. Neil Warnock?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. It's now coming together. Okay.
Yes. So that's the level. Now, and this is very important for me to say it out. In whatever you do in life, it's about character. It's about if you really believe. For example, I admire you because what you're building here, this show, it's not for everybody.
Thank you.
It's true. And although I know that you worry a lot, and I really mean it from my heart, that you have it all. You can be the #1 national team goalkeeper. But I want you not to look only to play in the Premier League. I want you to go abroad. And I'm in front of everybody. I'm ready to help you. It's not easy, and you will find so many excuses to give up. Trust me, I had so many excuses. Just on excuses. But when you believe in something and you really want it, you just don't worry, go for it. If it doesn't happen, you can go and sleep and say, listen, I tried my best. That's my motto. Now, with what happened to Sheffield United, the coach at that time, John Buttigieg. He didn't want me to stay with Sheffield United. He told me either you play or you're out of the team. Issa, I was playing in the reserves. In the reserves, it's already higher level,
Of course.
higher than Malta. If we were used to play reserves, like in Leicester Stadium, Nottingham Forest Stadium, Derby Stadium. So, it was, and I played in the Carling Cup, So it was already an achievement. I mean, Rome was not built in a day.
How old were you?
I was 25, 26.
25, 26, okay.
Yes, so of course. I know that if I go back to Malta, I will sign for a big club, mangia passeggio, and relax.
Get good pay and you're sorted.
You pay, but listen,
Comfortable,
with Sheffield
family.
United, I had a good pay.
But in a way that you're comfortable here, family.
Exactly. And Malta, I would have more money. I mean, not more money than Sheffield, but I wasn't looking for money. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't gamble, m'għandix vizzijiet, laqas għal-ħers ma jkollix Rolex jew Breitling għax nġen. Mina simple person. Jina li kolli I have my aquarium, a big TV to watch movies.
We'll come to the aquarium part, obviously,
Yes.
because this is very
Now,
cool.
The thing was this, that
Before mention, remember aquarium. Okay? Remember aquarium because this is one of the biggest parts of the story.
now the story with Sheffield United, if I mention some players here like Danny Webber, Keith Gillespie, maybe you don't know them, but these are Man United in Sir Alex Ferguson era.
And obviously you used to play home and away. Obviously.
Yes, Gary Speed, yes. I used to play home and away, but at that time, the rules in England, they choose only 16 in the squad. Sometimes the goalkeeper, they don't put him in the squad. So I used to go there. I used to do the warming up. But then he will put me out to put another player. You understand? Yes. That's what's the thing.
So obviously, did you ever have a fixed roommate?
Well, yes. My roommate was Kai Walker. When he used to be called up, Kai Walker, Man City, Milan, Wek. I can tell you, when Kai Walker got the deal for Tottenham, he was with me in Havana, not celebrating, enjoying our end of pre-season. So, either you have a gift, because to play football you need a gift. Either you say the gift, I'm playing with Bulgaria or with Floriana. It's nice. Or you say, listen, I believe in myself. I want to try it out. They used to give me stick with the national team because I don't play with with Sheffield United. But to go with Sheffield United, it's not like playing with respect kollu mal-gargur, Issa, with Sheffield United, the squad that we had, it was a squad built to go up in the Premier League. So
You were competing for the
we
squad.
missed the second spot through Birmingham with 1 point. Issa, that thing worked in my favor and against me.
and
Why?
against- yeah, exactly.
The coach, Kevin Blackwell at the time, the manager, and I have a clip, and it will be on my biography. Kevin Blackwell, used to tell me, I am the best goalkeeper he has. But he has no balls to play me because of my height. X'tagħmel għajdilna, d-dendar ma għod robota fino. I swear. And, I mean, but I used to train. Like crazy. I used to go 1 hour before. I'm the last one to leave. And shooting and everything. Then in the afternoon.
Now it's opposite.
No, it's difficult. Now it's difficult.
First to come and first to leave.
Now it's difficult. Very difficult.
I don't. He's 43 years old, and it's obviously.
U tlet kwarti.
And are you still going? So.
In wara ġurnata xogħol. And in the afternoon, I used to train sometimes with the reserves. So I will show the coach, listen, coach, hello, I'm here. Issa, I have a friend. And a lot of people that are going to watch it, they're going to love it. They know what I have a poo-poo. You know what's a poo-poo? I have a poo-poo that sometimes I try things. Min jaf bjorn xi tħafalis. Anyway. You address Anyway. To tell you, this poo-poo to Paddy Kenny, everything I did. Everything. My way. Mux iweġġej ħasra. Like, not dik it ma get suspended one game. Something. And he was playing really well, Paddy Kenny. And
Can you explain in English what it is?
no, basically, Mela, my neighbor once gave me 2 soft toys, Tom and Jerry. Okay? And when I was with the under 18, she took Tom and I took Jerry. And the first game I didn't concede a goal, so it was my lucky charm. The second game I conceded a goal, but it was a penalty, and it was okay, we lost 1-0. The third game against Croatia, this soft toy that was hanging with the net, we got 7 goals. And the soft toy, tant ala, he went out with concussion, the soft toy. So, to joke, when I say, for example, once I did it to Andrew Hogg. No, listen, I love Andrew. We used to compete together. He's a nice guy. A different breed, though. He's brought up everything ready, and I had to fight everything for. But
So let's mention one thing. Andrew was our
guest.
On the 3rd episode. Third episode. So I hope you're watching this.
Oh, well, no, I mean, we're still friends, although...
Of course. Competition comes together and...
Yes, FM, there was no competition, He knows I was the best, but he tries to live now. But this is the truth, but no joke. But anyway. No, but I remember we had a game in Bulgaria, and Charlie Shiberaz, our goalkeeper coach, said like, okay, just we do this exercise. When I say 1, you go on the right. When I say 2, Hog, you go on the left. Bess il-Hog, typical. Għalix you number 2, I'm the number 1. Yeah, Hog. All right, yeah. Oh, like, and to joke about, I said, no worries. So tonight I will get out the poo-poo. And the poo-poo, I put it on the balcony. It was like she 5 degrees. Okay? And that night, it was a world record for Bulgaria. After 60 years, the most coldest and snowy night that ever Bulgaria saw. And then the game, for goalkeepers, no, it's worse because it slips everything. And he got 6 goals without touching a ball. So I say you see the poo-poo? But to joke, of course, I did do nothing. I wish I did it, but, So I pull his leg sometimes and this. But anyway, we had a nice career, 10 years, always on top, always best goalkeepers, me and him, for the national team. It's pride and honor,
Of course.
So...
He's younger than you as well, so...
Uh-huh.
Of course.
I don't know.
Of course, he's in his 3rd. No, 4. He just turned 40, Andrew.
Yes, yeah.
Just turned 40.
Well, he looks 50. Good. No, I think he retired quite early.
Yes,
I think he's a very good psychological coach.
Yes, very.
I hear really good things even when I see a post. I always...
He helped me a lot, personally.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot.
Mentally?
Yes.
Didn't take pariri.
No, but he was my coach for 2 years.
So no, listen,
it comes together.
It all helps. We need people like Andrew, like Andres Kembri.
Because, for example, I don't think anyone helped you mentally when you were abroad.
Listen.
Did you ever have anyone who can
listen.
Take 2 steps back and see the bigger picture?
I tell you, it's different era. To close with Andrew Hogg, I congratulate him. What he's doing. I really wish him big success and to keep pushing our youngsters. Now, going to me finding mental help. I mean, if I had a doctor at that time, I think the doctor needed a doctor to try and help himself, to try to understand me. Okay? Now, yes, it's nice to say yes, mentality and all this pressure and this and that, but number 1, do you know any good goalkeeper who's normal mentally?
I don't think so.
Exactly, that's 1. Secondly, this is in the section of excuses. Because this and that. Okay, it's true. It's not saying this true. But you tell me, is there something that you're fighting for? You can be boxing. It can be football, tennis. That you don't have pressure, or you don't have problems at home, or you don't have situations or injuries that people don't know about it. Just to the break. If I didn't have my parents now, with the problem I have in my restaurant, Pit 16, Shirok, I would have done suicide. Only because I trusted. I trusted a person, he just changed the VAT number and he changed the locks. And instead of taking the law in my own matters, I went with the court and this. 8 months, me paying the rent and the electricity and everything, and he's there working and putting up adverts. And it's Jen, after all that investment I did over there and after passing COVID, but let's step aside. So what I'm trying to tell you is, this, that yes, there are situations where people like Andrew or qualified doctors can help you mentally, but at the end of the day, it's you against you.
It's you, exactly, but you have to build that.
Yeah, you have to build that, but then it's about the character. It's about, listen, don't think, again, I tell you this short story, maybe out there, the kids will understand it. Do you think Kai Walker is as a top player, right? Kai Walker was rejected from Sheffield United. Kai Walker went to Northampton on loan for a month or 2 months. After 2 weeks, they sent him back. With the reserve, he wasn't even playing. So I was playing, and I wasn't even playing, or on the bench or out. Okay? What happened was, he was training very hard. We had Gary Naismith, Scottish international, and another player injured, and he got him in the team as reserve against Preston North End, playoff semi-final, okay, to go out in the Premier League. The right back got injured, and Kai went in. He gave one of those kicks, like Spara George, went up on our striker, headed the ball, did the agents, everything. Kai Walker assist. And because of that goal, we are 1-0 against Preston North End. And after 1 week, we're going to play in Sheffield United. He played very well. Kai Walker. We came 0-0 and we went through. Okay? And we went for 5 days to Spain, to Marbella. Okay? Just to think for the Wembley, to think against Burnley about them, because this game is the most expensive game. It's more expensive than the Champions League final. Google it.
Why?
Because the championship to go up in the Premier League, if a team goes down, the FA gives you a parachute money.
If the team goes down.
For example, if let's say Sheffield United went in the Premier League, okay, and they give you 1 million a year, okay, and the contract of 3 years. If they go down, they don't have so much TV rights, so the FA, he will give you the same amount of money that they budget in the Premier League for the 3 years to cover all the contracts. So that is the most expensive game in the world. The championship final that's played in Wembley. Issa, are you enjoying playing in the Premier when you see the supporters of Zabbar?
It's fun, yes, it's fun.
It's fun, but do you feel like you have an extra wing that you can do extra?
Of course.
Issa, how many people there are there? Maybe 2,000, 3,000?
Yes.
Let's go 5. Issa, imagine you play in Wembley. Turf is perfect. In front of 88,000. Laqas Pidi Gonzalez, għax għonna għaddih. You know what I mean? He had a normal game.
You hadn't played, you were on the
No,
bench.
no, I was on the bench. But even I was on the bench.
Atmosphere.
Ifhem, the atmosphere, the dressing room, you being in Wembley with an English team, and there you're playing it all. Għax the contracts, it's automatically, if you go from Championship to Premier, automatically your contract goes times 3. Times 3, whatever you're earning.
So how much would you have been making?
Lost jakut lajna. Xi 400,000. Timmaġina ġastin Haber 400,000. Fis-sena, kemm nitkesħu. Kemm nagħmlu Aquariums. Jokes apart. Imma dik qed tilab. U apparti li inti ma' Premier League, mbagħad mill-Premier jekk tmur loan, għajtuk l-istess paga.
Exactly.
So I had to choose, and I will do it again if I have the possibility. It wasn't easy, of course. In England, it's tough. It's cold all the time, grey, even the shots. I was building for that. Of course, I did 4 kommedi hemmhekk, mbagħad xi darba ngħidhomlek fid-dressing room mhux hawn. Imma what happens then, because of the coach, John Bottigieg told me if you stay with Sheffield United and you don't play first team, you're out. So, what are the options? Of course, there was always Malta. And they proposed me to go with the same salary to Ferencváros.
Okay.
Okay? And I went to Ferencváros. Massive. Massive club. Massive. You feel
You feel like a player.
you feel like a top player. It's dangerous. Why? In Hungary, there are no police in the matches. There are soldiers. Soldiers. So, can you imagine being the goalkeeper and you do a mistake? And there, the hooligans, I think I have a screenshot, I will show it to you. The top 50, I think, or 40, I'm not sure, I will send it to you. The hottest derbies in the world, like meaning Boca Juniors, River Plate, Inter Milan, it's Ferencváros, Újpest. Okay? The ultras agree to meet in the subway to fight. Do or die. It's there. Google it and you see. Now, I arrive on a Monday. On a Wednesday, they had a cup game. Okay? Of course, I went to see them. I didn't play. And it was against a team of their division. So there are actually 5 cups. And we lost. We had to be locked in the dressing room because the supporters, Kissir, Jen. Thursday. And Saturday, we have the derby. Újpest, Ferencváros.
Oh, I think I know the story.
And the coach decided to play me. Tista' timmaġina, I went 22 times to the bathroom. So, it was my debut. So my debut with Ferencváros was in the derby against Újpest, in Újpest Stadium. Issa, just to make you understand, in big countries, big clubs, sometimes there are no home supporters, away supporters. What do I mean? This happened to me in Greece also. Ferencváros in Újpest Stadium, they're only allowed to have 500 supporters. So can you imagine the extra risk that you're having? Same in Greece. And with Ferencváros, I had an amazing game. Unfortunately, we lost 2-1, but we're playing in 10. And it was my first introduction to the Hungarian league. It wasn't easy, but I spent 2 years and a half. Then I also got with me my favorite player, Andres Kembri. And it was nice. A lot of things happened. For example, I was also playing with the national team. Then the coach put me out. So imagine you have a team. Imagine you're the coach, and you're choosing your squad from Maltese players that are playing Malta. But then you have a goalkeeper who's hitting the headlines every weekend, and you don't even call him up
For the game.
How do you feel? Imagine me as a player, and for a stupid reason.
And when that happened, you had made a decision to go to Boston.
No, that one was in Gżira, so that one has to wait for it.
No, okay. No, you mentioned something where you went. You came back to Malta, and you remember when you came back to Malta, and you had training the next day and you didn't know?
I had training the next day.
You were eating here in Malta, and then Andre called you.
Yes, Mela.
That's a good
On the second year, we had the Hungarian coach, and there the season starts early because of the winter break. There's a winter break in November, stops, and the restarts in February. So in January go for pre-season. And so, but the league starts in June. So imagine you finish in May, and in June you start again. And we went on the mountains, went in Austria. I was playing well. We played quite big games against Rapid Vienna and this. I was doing well. I was number 1. With me, there was a Slovenian goalkeeper, Marko Rimolic. He was the goalkeeper of Maribor. So you enter in a zone. The competition, it's not Matteo or Luca Camilleri. You're entering into, listen, tough goalkeepers. No room for error, And the last training session before we went back to Budapest, I did a save. The grass was a bit dry, and it stuck the ball between the posts, and I broke my finger. Like, I broke my finger. Of course, it was tough. It was painful, but it was 2 weeks before the league starts. And it's my hands. I can't play without hands. Therapy and this and that. They used to give me vitamin D for the bones or something, and they were so khzina.
They were bad.
And Andrea used to laugh because I used to mix them with Coca-Cola. Anyway, so then I started the rehabilitation, and so I started playing with the second team, of course, and we played. The first team was playing against Újpest. This
Again?
derby. No, this was like 2 years after.
2 years after that again.
We were playing at home, Újpest. And this game was on a Saturday evening. Okay? The reserved played Saturday morning, like 10 o'clock. And, the game, we won. And we had Sunday and Monday off. Back to training on Tuesday.
On the calendar.
So, we nara l-logħba. I said, "Amor Malta." And I went to Malta. Because at that time I was doing the Justin Haber Academy, and I wanted to choose from Eligio the kids. And I saved the life. True, I swear. Destiny. I wasn't planning. So I arrived at 4 o'clock. I went straight to Eligio. So then I will go to my kunyata, Melliħa, and stay there 2 days, relax. And as soon as I went in to Eligio, this woman, Tafitz, like, she fell and she hit her nose.
Face first?
Yes. And blood everywhere. And nobody knew what to do. And not because I know. Imma, I said, I have to give her the kiss of life. It's a day, I don't know her, and blood everywhere. And Bahnan, min flok, instead of like pushing my hair, I sucked. Allora blajt dem kollu. I mean, Imma dak inti panikja, u kolħad bravu wara. Umma insomma, zammejtila, vek, unfaħtila bdejt nitja, u ġi ftaħħa. U baġġi l-ambulanza, nalla sewa għamilta, sarvajtila ħajjita. Ma nafx jisemax, marġax kellim ta' dakinhar, ma għameli ġo xut jista' jgħidlek vera sarvajtila ħajjita. U mhux suppost kontem jien, suppost jgħid Ferencváros. In the meantime, rajt l-logħba fuq television, I saw the game on TV, and they lost. Ferencváros lost at home against Újpest. U ma nafx xejn. Ċempert l-Andre? Okay.
Andre had played?
Yes, Andre played. And il-ħadd, Sunday, il-kunjata Carmen, dejjem tħobb tagħmel il-fenek, jew klamari. U fenek ta' kunjata ta' fentu. U jiena nifilet nikol il-fenek, u jċempilli Andre, fejja ġast, għalla mhux Malta fejja. Għalli isma' il-coach iridek, għadlu taħħa. Għalli il-coach iridek, u żabba.
English if possible.
Sorry, coach wants you, like, and I said, why? Because we lost, we have training. Yeah. So of course I didn't go. Then I told them I went abroad. I went back home without their permission. So I got fined.
How much?
1,000 mhux ħafna.
Not bad.
Not bad. L-FM, imblajt 30,000 ta' multi. 30,000 I got from all the clubs and everything. Yeah? With Gżira 5,000 because I went to Boston by mistake. But I will tell you that. Anyway, so the adventure of Ferencváros, after I recovered, I had one of the best seasons of my life in both parties. Why? Because I imagine the coach of the national team had to call me back because I was performing holy wow. We had a friendly in February against Switzerland, and Switzerland, even today, they're good, but at the time, they had Frey, exactly, they had this.
But it's fun playing against these teams, huh?
Of course.
It's fun.
I will tell you my comment about what I think with the national team difference, but at the time, in this game, I saved 2 penalties in a game. And I kept a clean sheet. Apart from the penalties, that one of them was after 3 minutes, I had really 2 difficult saves, like fingertip save in the bottom. And I'm more proud than their saves than the penalties. But of course, I got a record.
Of course.
I was even in the team of the word, New York Times. I have a cutting of the newspaper, like Haber, then Marcelo, and this, Listen, I'm not a Kiesa. I will put on Facebook. I'm not. I keep them to myself. I will put them in the book. I have a lot of stories. I have a lot of things that all the money coming for this book is going for a good cause. And, that's me. That's Justin. Anyway, and my dream came true. What do I mean? For a person, for a player or an athlete to be settled, it's impossible. Meaning, if the end of the season and you don't have a contract, it's a big headache. You don't know where you're going, you have to move the clothes and this and that. In April, I had the renewal of the contract of Ferencváros. I had one offer in Portugal, Guimarães.
Victor Guimarães.
And I had an offer in Greece, Corfu.
Okay.
Issa. Greece, I was already in Athens, and I know. But Greece, Superliga.
One of the biggest stadiums in Greece.
Which I was? No.
No.
No, Andek Kariskaki of Olympiacos and Andek AEK Athens. Okay. I played in that stadium.
And Oaxaca
and Pauk and Maris Thessaloniki, Panathinaikos.
They are big clubs.
Big. They have 13 or 14 newspapers only on sports. Can you imagine? Only on sports. Issa, I was lucky in Greece because I was chosen in Greece through a journalist who promoted me with this agent. His name is Ilya Ivic. It's like he's Serbian. He was the director of Partizan, but he's like God in Greece. He's married to a famous singer, Greek. I don't know if they are still the same, but he's a very gentleman. And he was my representative. The deal was he will put me in Athens and then sell me to Olympiacos as a third goalkeeper. In Greece, I'm not saying Kerkera, I'm saying Greece when I was there. In Greece, I had only the sponsor, around 40,000 of Puma. And what they do there, you are in a squad that you're obliged to sign twice a year when they tell you have to attend, and they make like games for beneficiary or something. But they have like 3 goalkeepers, 10 defenders, 10 midfielders, like a squad. And that was one of the goalkeepers. The goalkeepers with me, Nicopolidis. I don't know if you know him. I know, but he's a legend. He's a legend. And I played against him with the national team. So I have his kit, and I'm with him in the team. And I had Rivaldo. Rivaldo was playing in Ike. And he was, a Puma. So I don't know football. I don't know the players. But, you see Rivaldo and I have a signature, and being part of this nice team. From Greece, I had a 2-year deal. From Greece, when I went to Sheffield United, and the Sheffield United went to Ferencváros. So Ferencváros, I was like 28, 29 to keep in line everything. And when I had this amazing season, I got married that year. And I had to choose or stay in Ferencváros or Kerkera or Guimarães. I chose Kerkera.
What was the reason?
The truth. To save the wedding, to save the marriage. The truth. Ferencváros, it's an amazing place. And I regretted that I left. I really regretted. But playing in the Superliga, and I don't know if you know where is Corfu. Corfu, it's a beautiful island. It's like 5 times bigger than Malta, but the population is only like 80,000. But in summer it goes up to 5 million. It's really touristic. Every game we play away with the plane and everything, and you play against Panathinaikos and this. So creme de la creme, you know. And so my time with Ferencváros, it was not only amazing. I did some of my best games. I did one of my biggest mistakes, like goalkeeper skills. May I say it? We were playing away against ZTE. We were third. We were third, and they were second. And the first were Debrecen. Debrecen at that time were playing in the Champions League against Liverpool and all this, so top. And I don't know what happened. 5 minutes, an easy ball came in. Try to, hook it, and it slipped.
To your legs?
No, it slipped, my chest.
And fell into his feet.
And imagine the first ball I touched. And then I was not busy to make it worse. Then about second half we got the draw 1-1, and the last 10 minutes penalty for them. And I said, please Jesus, please, let me save it. And so I forget the mistake, I saved it, but rebound and goal. So it's more better he scored. So yes, it was a mistake, but till today I have journalists from Ferencváros still requesting me interviews and calling me and everything. I can show them to you, although it's in Hungarian. But I was a character in the dressing room. For example, with me there was Deni Rocha. Who's Deni Rocha? Deni Rocha was one of the best players for Wolves. I had the captain of Ferencváros was the captain of Porto when there was Mourinho. You understand it? I had with me my teammate Marek Heinz. He was the striker of Czech Republic when Czech Republic came third place, like with Nedved and this, So when you go abroad, it's not just you're playing in a different level, but you're opening doors and you're challenging to the best. And football, you never know what's around the corner.
Exactly, and that's what I think pushes.
Yes.
Even youngsters, it's not easy. It's not easy.
Oh, well,
although there's opportunity, much more opportunity.
Of course, but listen, again, we live unfortunately in a bubble, in a comfort zone. Issa, you're happy in a comfort zone? Yeah, of course, everybody's happy. But
there's a limit. There's always like
yes, there's a step. Oh, listen, I am okay. There was no social media and stuff like that, but we had PlayStation.
Do you think it's beneficial, social media these days?
It depends how you take it. For example, me, I had Facebook when I opened my restaurants. I started with Facebook. Before I had a fan page, it's still there. And my ex-wife used to take care of it because I had nothing to hide.
For example, how I use my social media. What do you think about it? Because there's a lot of talk in the dressing room. Everyone obviously gets his opinion, but it's up to you to ask you a question. Just in case someone wants to start with his journey on social media as an athlete, I think it's top notch, to be honest.
Listen, yes, but you have to be strong. That's not only on good days.
Exactly.
There will be also bad days. Issa, when we're out there, and this is a very important point that from all the interview I wanted to make it clear. The sportsman, okay, is a subject to criticism or to praise or to judgment. He's judged every day. Me, Justin Haber, personally, people know me and I can never thank them enough. All the people in Malta, because they supported me till the age of 16. Till today when I go in a meeting or something, I'm the footballer. Yes. What I'm trying to say. So, each sportsman, we have a responsibility. responsibility that we people are looking at. We're role models. I'm not saying I do everything perfect, Anzi. I have my problems, you know. But sometimes problems are because I'm in a bad situation, not because I want to be a bad problem. So what I'm trying to say is, each player, for example, is not how good you are in the football pitch, but it's how good you are outside the football pitch, how you can transmit your fame that you got it thanks to football, that you always have to respect the football, and try to be positive to the people that they are looking up to you. What do I mean is this, that you have a supporter, okay?
We mentioned this in the dressing room.
Yes, and of course, I can't teach you maybe how to save a ball, because as I always tell you, you can have the best coach in the world. You can have Dino Zoff or Gianluigi Buffon. You are good, Ashint, you're good. The coach can help you
Improve the
small details. But if you're good, you're good. That's a fact. Now, going back, when I used to be with Birkirkara, okay, we used to lose or something, and they used to like to go to Havana, you know. I'm not saying because you shouldn't go out or this or that, but the supporter is hurt because he lost a big game. Or don't go and drink in front where people see you, where people can judge you. You know, for sure, after this interview, I'm going to be judged, of course. There will be good things, bad things, of course, that's part of life. But what I'm trying to say is this, that you always go to the position of the sportsman to be grateful for what you achieve because of the sport. Always respect the sport. But we have an obligation as a sportsman that we took this responsibility, that we contribute to the people out there, the working people, the people that they get their money to pay the ticket to come and see us. The respect that if we do something silly, we don't do it on purpose to hurt them or something. Little things. For example, forget now that I'm involved in politics because the Prime Minister told me to. But when I was younger, I never spoke if it's red or blue. Never. Who am I to hurt my supporters if he thinks red or he's blue? No way. You know, I had my reasons, and that's what I did. I had problems. I had problems when I didn't agree on something because I didn't want to. I got a counter reaction from somewhere, you know, but it's part of the game. So, being a sportsman, being a role model out there, it's nice. It's nice to be helpful and be positive about it, not to drag something and be negative, you know. And of course, today with social media, it's much more easy. It's much more easy, you know, to be viral and things. But I wish that the viral things that happens, it's more like positiveness instead of
exactly. So it's to boost your career. Let's go on to the Boston one. What happened with that story? You came back to Malta. You had a career here in Malta. You played for multiple clubs here in Malta.
Yes, Mela. So Boston. So it's this time of the year.
Okay.
For example, this year I can go because I have a contract to go in Seville. If no, I was already in Boston. And
can you explain what you do before you mention this?
Mela, so basically, when I used to play abroad, instead of spending my nights playing PlayStation only, I used to study marine biology. I used to call or send emails to curators or public aquariums on my free day to work with them, to get the knowledge of aquaculture, you know, aquariums, aquaculture and all this. Of course, started off with the lobsters, aquariums, because I also had a shop of aquariums, and then expanded to aquaculture. It's where it's the future. So, way back, we had like 3 partners. There was me, a Chinese, and an Indian, and we had like a kitty, and when there is an offer, for example, of octopus or salmon or calamari or shrimps, we buy like 5 containers between us. Okay, so instead of having like a container in one country because it's too much, maybe we divide it each, So we say, listen, we have 5 containers, every month we take one. And this one will go a quarter for me, for him, or for the other one, and like this. So we used to take care of the expo, like a seafood expo. And the seafood expo, there is one in Asia, one in America, and one in Europe. So I used to take care of the one in Europe, but the one in Europe was always late May, so I didn't have football. And the Boston and the Asia they take, and then we do a recap of everything. So the new president of America at that time, Donald Trump, decided to remove the visas, and they didn't get a visa to join this seafood expo. And this was in a week decision. So I remember it was a Monday. We played against Balzan. And I find the messages that, listen, I have no visa, you have to go, Justin. Issa, why was it important for us to go? Because the stand we had, if one of us didn't go, okay, we have the deposit and we lose it. But to start again the third year, we start on a very bad location. And we were such in a good position. So if we didn't go, it was, everything would fall apart. Anyway, and okay, so Tuesday I tried to fix their problem. I couldn't. And Tuesday evening, I got the ticket. 24 hours.
To Boston.
Wednesday, I arranged for the visa. In the meantime, what I'm going to tell the coach. So, on my way to training, I was scrolling to see how to vomit. And there was Jake of 2.5 Men. Jake of 2.5 Men. 2.5 Men is the best series. My hero,
okay,
Charlie Sheen.
Okay.
And he, there was Mentos, Crips, and Coke. So I stopped convenience and bought Mentos, Crips, and Coke. And I did. Till today, I didn't touch again a Mentos. Okay? Just for the record. And they started jogging, I started jogging, and this no effect. So I was jogging and I was putting my finger inside to make a show, So I get the excuse, I'm sick and I can travel. And anyway, to cut this story short, I vomited. Coach, Professor Johan, Johan Zammit. Anyway, and you're sick, go and rest. But I put my finger so much in that my tonsils make me cry, So off we went. So when I went home, I took 3 pictures, for example, like this with a red shirt, then like this with a blue shirt. So if they ask me how I am, I will send them. I'm in the bed, same position. And okay. So off we go to Boston. Go from Malta, left 6 a.m. Thursday, Munich, Boston. If in Boston, got to the hotel, and I went to decor the stand, okay, and everything. So what happened was that I missed the shuttle, and it was snowing, everything, and my phone was off, so no stress, and I missed the shuttle. So I tried to call a cab, and in the meantime, when I switched on the phone, the call from the kit manager called me, Spaniel, Mgzira. He called me. Anyway, I switched it off, and after 3 hours, ready to sleep, I'm still jet lagged, still tired, and everything. Anyway, I switch on the phone, and I find 55 missed calls. Darren Abdullah, Andrew Cohen,
Who,
Marlon.
your coach?
Coach, assistant, team manager, president, Marlon, Abduni. No stress.
They caught you?
Yes, sorry. They caught me, and trying to see what I'm going to do. Anyway, and I called the coach. Hey, coach, kif just? Mux ħażin, coach. Ma, ora, taħseb ta' milada? Ma nafx, coach. Nista' ngħidlek għada kjoġbok. Okay. Għalli ċempillu l-president. I called the president. And I called the president. Told me, how are you just? The same story. Okay, listen, can I come and see you? Can I come and see you? And at that moment, President Shalom Patch, Gżira, His father had a hotel, so I said, he's in Gżira, let me think of somewhere where I am very far. So I said, my ex-wife, Kunyata, she lives in Santa Maria State. I said, I'm in Melliha, coach, press, I'm in Melliha. Ah, perfect, on my way to home. So I said, okay, anyway, okay, illala. So after 30 minutes, I called him. Hey, I'm leaving now. I'm coming there. I said, listen, press, because I'm not at home. Okay, where are you? I said, I'm abroad. No problem. Call Marlon now and get you a ticket. I said, I'm in Boston. In Boston, Ali. In Boston. Anyway, and then of course I had to call the coach because I lied, and the goalkeeper, Coach Dominic. And well, they fined me €5,000, uh, and I never played again till the end of the season. I didn't play again.
How long ago was this?
This was when Gżira went the first time to Europe.
It was around 2000. I remember.
15 naħseb.
15? Was it 15? Was it that?
Le, 16
No,
rebaħt
was it-
trophy ma' Floriana. 17 naħseb it was.
Around that time.
17, exactly. So that's the Boston story.
Alright, let me move on to something that not many people know, and if they know, it's quite cool. And obviously, I would like to be where you were. Netflix. Netflix.
Yes, Netflix.
Can you explain how you end up on Netflix?
The truth, I don't know.
You don't know.
Basically, as you know, I love seafood, and I export and import seafood. There was this restaurant which he had a balance with us, and he wanted to close down, and he proposed me to swap
To take over.
the restaurant. I said, okay, but I don't understand the restaurants. Anyway, I did my maths, I did the investment, and but I forgot one big part: the chefs. The chefs, unfortunately, were not up to standard, because not in food, but in other
Categories.
bad habits.
Okay.
So it was passing from a bad patch, the restaurant. These people came by, and they proposed it. They contacted me, and they proposed to do a refurbishment. Without, I don't even know, to do a refurbishment. They will pay everything, and my only part that I have to do is to close for a week, and not allowed to be there. Okay, so that's what I did. Close for a week. It was in July.
What was the...
Restaurants on the edge.
Okay.
Restaurants on the edge. They are still friends with me. The contract said that for the duration of the deal with Netflix, 2 or 3 years it was.
So it's still on.
Yes.
So guys, go watch
Restaurants
it.
on
Guys,
the
girls.
Edge.
Go watch
Season
it.
1, episode 1. Now, that's another thing.
Oh, that's
I
nice,
was
that's fun.
super lucky and super unlucky.
Okay.
So, this Netflix show, they were so impressed of my story that they made it the first one. So, it's season 1, episode 1. And it's not because...
How many millions of views?
Mela, the second most views was Mauritius. 2 million views. We had 8 million views. 8 million views. We got an award because the company, Netflix, is Canadian actually. We got a red carpet moment in California, and I was invited, but the coach, Darren Abdullah, I say hello from here, he didn't let me go. But I understand, but the thing was, it was such an honest interview that I gave. I had messages coming from all over the world. It was aired on the 28th of February 2020. Okay? And on the 11th of March 2020, the government decided to close the restaurants because of COVID. Now, in that 10 days, I never had so many people coming to eat because of Netflix. And we didn't know when we were going to open. And I opened my second restaurant that was Pitch 16.
Close by.
That the priest came on the 28th of February. And again, they closed. Now, because I didn't know when I'm going to open, I kept all the stuff. I didn't fire nobody. Thanks God the government helped us, but didn't help us as much as all the full payments. So I was keeping all the salaries without even knowing I'm opening. So because of Netflix, I was going to get people, but I didn't know when to open, you know.
Of course.
So yes, I lost a lot of cash, unfortunately. Then, when you have a show like this, people have high expectations. So I had to keep the standards. I sought help. I found this guy, and unfortunately, he tricked me. He tricked me, and he paid me. He put me in a position that I had to give up the restaurant, and I had to give up for a small fee that didn't even cover 30% of the investment that there is. And the sad part is when people from Netflix go there, he bad mouths me, you know, instead of saying the truth, or he'd say nothings, because people complain with me. You know, they go to that restaurant to see me, but it's one of those.
So it's still called Haber 16.
No, he called it by Haber by Johan. You know, the food is amazing, but the person is a bad person. No, I said in front of him.
Anyways, so I think we covered most of your story.
Did you?
Most.
But there is much more.
There's much more.
I know.
There's much more, but we'll stay here for around 4 hours
I
in
know,
that case,
yeah.
or 5 or 6.
I hope I didn't give you a headache or
No,
bore
but it
you.
was a very interesting story. I think it was very connecting to our audience, and you connected with me, and I'm 19, and I hope that whoever is younger and wants to go abroad, just know that it's not all about sometimes money.
No,
All
exactly.
about, you just have to take the leap and sacrifice everything you have just to follow your dream.
Yep.
Isn't it? So I like to pass on to every guest I have. Usually, so this is an empty journal. Okay. I believe that I know you don't like these things, but for me, journaling changed my life. I write down goals after games, anything, milestones, anything. Yeah, you can write down anything you want regarding your work, maybe how many oysters you want to order for your next expo. So that's yours.
Thank you. Thank you
Nothing
so much.
too big.
No, it's nice.
I believe that you can
I will
write.
take it with me for every meeting.
You can write anything you want on it.
Thank you. With the logo, everything, it's nice.
It's nice. It's
cool. Thank you.
It's cool. It's cool. From my end, I believe that we covered everything. Now, just to end the things here. Steve Martin was our latest guest on the podcast, episode 4.
I say hello from here. Yes, I'm a fan of his.
Yeah, and you told me last time you would like to fight.
Yeah, so but not with him. With what's his name, Flakey.
So you propose a fight?
Yes, I would propose a fight.
You think you'll fight?
I never fought, but I.
What do you think the
well,
outcome will be?
look, I like Flakey with his determination.
Okay.
Okay, he overdo it,
Yeah.
and he admitted it because he said, I was seeing an interview, that the day of the fight he was exhausted because instead of concentrating on the fight that he is a 360 professional trying to be, he was more on social media, the tendencies, you know. I mean, of course, with a Malta, he maybe doesn't have an agent or a helping hand, but like, do it. And what he did it's good. But on the week of the fight, forget the other. Like, you know.
But don't forget, it's their business as well.
Pardon?
It's their business as well. So
It
you have
is,
to understand.
but it's a fight. You can't, like, for example, us goalkeepers, we have to stay focused on the game. There, if for a flip of a second, if you don't see it coming, you're
dead.
knockout.
You're dead.
You're
on the
dead.
floor.
You know, so he's risking his life, with all the respect. It's a fight. And she's going challenges like, I fight you.
All right, so let's go to what? Steve Martin left you. He didn't know you're coming,
Okay.
so it was quite anonymous. I didn't open it myself yet, so let's hope that I understand his handwriting. Because sometimes of Andrew, for example, okay, this is good. Of Andrew, I didn't understand.
Typical.
So a bit of a doctor handwriting, but anyway. So okay, this is quite cool. Okay, it's quite deep. So Steve's mother passed away after he won his world title. So that's another cool episode, which was very heartfelt. Okay, so How did you manage to pick up yourself from the lowest point of your life? How did you manage? Thank you, Steve. Good question.
My kids.
Your kids.
Yes. My deepest, really deepest, ugly part of my life was when you lose everything.
And did you pass through that part? You
Yes,
believe?
I passed 3 years ago.
When you say you lose everything,
So, as I said, and a lot of their people know me, I don't drink, I don't smoke, no drugs, never went to the casino, never prayed for a stripper, or never tattoos, or this. Not because I'm against them, but it's me, it's Justin. I'm a very simple person. I go out with any kind of clothes, meaning plain and simple. I don't need to have to be DG or this or that, you know. A modest car, nothing out of this world. But I do invest a lot in my dreams. When I started with the restaurants, so when I was abroad, I always saved money, you know, for the house that when I was married and everything. Always like was bilal, the Maltese says, you know. And then when you start your business adventure, okay, and you start forecasting money, and you go out of budget and you try to make everybody happy, you will come in a situations where you can't stop.
exactly. Yeah.
And you have to keep on going. Then imagine you have two big restaurants ready, something is on the doorstep, so you get money and you start. And COVID hits you. Boom. And because excuse my French, I didn't have the balls to fire the employees, like, because they were my friends, you know. It was very tough. Then when you're tough, like you pass from a hard tough, you start talking to yourself and you're becoming more protective on yourself, but you become vulnerable and you let people in with a bit of sweet talking. You let them in more than you should be. That's an investment, two investments of more than 600,000. Two of them are are enjoying it, and they put me down. And you say all the money that you save, because it was hard, and I'm talking from my heart. And then you have another thingy. When you're a sportsman or a public figure, if, let's say, Brian owes €100, okay, to this guy, it's no problem. But if Justin Haber owes €50, and from 50 they make it like 10,000, and which is not true. So what I'm trying to say is, it was tough for me, because again, I was raised the proper way. I'm not a street guy, and in business, if you're not a street guy,
Streetwise,
exactly, streetwise, I wanted to say, sorry. And yes, that's a downfall, because I let down myself, and I was in a critical point where I don't know what to do. Thanks God I have my kids, which I love them to bits, and I and Kai, that when I'm with them, I have a value of what I'm playing for, what I'm living for. So
obviously what you can, as everyone can notice, and what I had during my latest episodes, is that athletes all use their leverage to open their own business or to start a new venture, like Justin did. Sometimes it can go well, sometimes it doesn't go well. It's not a matter of luck, it's a matter of how you place your cards, I believe.
yes. And your team, who are your
And your team.
Yes, like even your accountant, and this is something that I would like to propose in future for the federation, that the kids, the players, they're not just left like this and they don't know what to do. From at a young age, from when they sign the first contract, they should have like this company which can take care of their patient, they can take care of their medicine, you know, with all due respect. Look,
Medical bills.
not medical bills. For example, God forbidden, something happens, you know, on your injury, and you have a doctor in Hazzabar, and in 2 years' time you go with Valletta. You have another doctor. You have a doctor with the national team. Everybody's touching you, and you
No
don't
one
have
knows your-
exactly. So can you imagine me? All these clubs I went to, You know, that's why my reference was David Attard, whatever happens to me. So what I'm trying to say is it's another subject. We have to do another show about my opinion about the football thing, why I can't continue. But going back to what Mr. Steve Martin said, yes, it was like 2-3 years ago. I'm slowly recovering. And although you see me smiling and try to help everybody, it's not the first time I'm driving home and I'm crying. Because I build my life on businesses that they have to give me money when I stop football and relax, to continue my fish farm. That's my main target, my fish farm.
Which is the only one
on land. The only fish farm on land is called the Sea Land. It's my baby, and it's my dream come true. I have, thanks God, I have amazing employees which they support me all out. They sometimes even they don't even take their salary just to see it happen. That's how.
That's nice.
That's nice. Yeah.
That's nice. I think we should. Oh, sorry. All good. So I'm seeing right there.
Yes, it's a small gift.
Thank you very much.
Well, first wait, you have to say what it is.
Okay.
So, well,
they look old for sure.
Yes, I am old, don't forget. Anyway, this is my last call-up shirt when we were in the hotel and where we traveled. Okay, it's clean. Don't worry.
Who did you play against here?
I think Bulgaria.
Thanks, buddy.
Welcome.
Thanks so much. You need to sign these for me.
Sure. And when I was with Ferencváros, I had one of my biggest sponsors, Nike, that for every international game they used to give me football shoes. And this is one of them. So I forgot which game it was, but it's a national team appearance, these shoes, and I give them to you. So when you play your first national A team, which I believe you have all the tributes to do that, I expect to give at least one
or the
shoe.
lace, at least the lace. Can I shake your hand? Because
sure.
It was a pleasure.
Pleasure, T.I.
Once again, thank you so much
for
coming. I think it was one of the best.
Really?
Yes. I think many people can learn from your mistakes, from you leveraging your brand to even getting bitten. I don't know the story, but
no, I'm just saying because it's hard. Nobody want to judge. At the end of the day, it's past. Keep moving forward.
But everyone has his problems. So even if you're outside meeting people, don't forget that everyone has his own situations at home. Everyone has a difficult life.
Sure.
Not only you have the small problems, and keep walking.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Justin, once again.
You're welcome. Thank you for the invite.
As I said.
And keep going.
It was great. It was great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Everyone who's watching, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know who you want to see on the next podcast. As always, Champions Connect out. Thank you very much.